Good morning and welcome to Geordie Giant Veg. It is show day and it is extremely early in the morning. In fact, it's that early. There's frost on the floor over there, believe it or not. It's 6 in the morning and I'm up bright and early to get me leeks dug out, get them all cleaned off and ready for to go with other few bits and bobs of veg. I'm putting in my little local show, but I'll show you them again in a minute. I'm just going to show you a couple of tools I'm going to be using today for my leeks. Really, the first thing is a tape measure. I want to be using a tape measure just for to see roughly how big my leeks are round. And you'll need something called this. It's from the National Pot Leek Society, and this is for to check how big your leeks are to the first button. As you can see, you've got like the pointer here, and the hook at the bottom goes under your leek, and that gauge up here, this point here, I'll tell you how big your leek is to the button. So that's necessary. I've got a spoon, and it's a very handy tool, believe it or not, when you're cleaning your leeks. What you do is you use this teaspoon for to scrape underneath on the root plate for to get all the old flags off and clean it all up, make it nice and tidy, ready for the show bench so the roots are nice and clean. I've also got some towels which I'll dampen off and I'll wrap my leeks in them. So join us again in a few moments when I'll be digging out some of the leeks, and I'll show you them before I've cleaned them and after I've cleaned them. Like I say, this year everybody's had a nightmare as far as leeks are concerned with all the huge temperature fluctuations. Have sent a lot of the leeks to seed. Some of them are splitting, gone double. It's genuinely been a nightmare year for everyone across the whole board. So I'm not hopeful that I'm going to get some decent leeks out of the trenches, because I know all my good leeks have gone to seed or they've split and things like that. But I'm hoping that I'll get 3 under the 6 inches and I can get them on the bench. A lot of people, like I say, will be struggling to get some on the bench. I know a lot of people's leeks have went long. And a lot of people's have burst and etc. Gone to seed and gone double because of the heat and stuff like that. So I'll be happy if I can just get 3 leeks on the show bench to help make the show a success this year. But yeah, join us again in a minute and I'll show you what I'm be up to. Welcome back. I'm just in my trench here, and as you can see, I'm just having a look at some of the leeks. To see what I've got to work with. Some of them have been really damaged by moths and caterpillars and stuff like that, and some of them have just split. As you can see, the top of this one, it's shredded, it's gone double. I pulled 2 out from here and here, because they've went to seed and no good. I've lost another one here and another one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig this one out. I can see it's got some split flags, and I'm hoping I might be able to get it under 6 inches to the button, and we'll see what it's like. I mean, the leeks are in terrible condition, but it is what it is. This year, like I say, it's been terrible, and for the fact that with the heat, it's been really hard to spray for thrip without like really damaging your leeks. So I've got a lot of thrip damage. I tried the natural predators, and it did work for a bit, but unfortunately the thrips mustn't have been completely killed, and it's come back with a vengeance. And like, I didn't want to spray because of the heat. So yeah, I'm gonna dig this one out now, and I'll have a look at it in a second when I've got it on my little bench, and I can start cleaning it up, and hopefully it'll be under the 6 inches. And here we go. I've got the leek out. I've given it a little bit of clean, as you can see. But I've got a lot more cleaning to do in these roots. You've got to get right in and get all this muck out. You can see the marks on the bottom of the root plate here. All this needs cleaning off and scraping off. That's where your teaspoon will come in handy. But I've got to get this leek cleaned down first. As you can see, it's split a few flags. So I've got to strip these flags off, these outside ones, for to try and get down to a nice barrel. So we'll see how we'll get on, and I'll show you when I'm finished all 3. Hopefully I'll have a set of 3 of the same variety. If not, I'll have to use Cumbrians for to compensate for the lack of Yorkshire Giants. But I mean, it's a big leek, as you can see. It's a decent sized leek. Strip off a few flags. It's still going to be alright on the show bench, It's not going to win anything, but I'll still get them on the bench and they'll look alright. So join us again in a minute when I show you them all done. Cheers. Hello and welcome back. As you can see, there's a load of destruction about, and I'm struggling. I've got one leak. That's the very first leak I cleaned, and after stripping all the flags back, trying to get another 2 leaks, the ones I thought I would be able to use. If you can see here, you can just see there's the pointer, and the button is literally 5mm above it, and the same goes for this one. It's about 1 inch out. There's the marker, and the button, as you can see, is here. So they're no good. So looks like I'm going to have to go into my reserves of my Cumbrian leaks to try and see if I can get a couple out of there, because I know that they're quite short. So, but they're not very big around. It's been a disastrous year, really. But it is what it is. I'll clean one of these up and I'll put it in for an intermediate leak. That's another section in the show. So yeah, I'll keep plodding along. I'll try and get some Cumbrians out now. I think I've got one more Yorkshire Giant to have a go at to see if I can get it under the 6 inches. But yeah, join us again in a minute and I'll show you hopefully I'll have a set of 3. Hello and welcome back. I've finished cleaning my leaks up. I'll just show you them here. Sorry if the sun's a bit bright. I mean, I've decided to go with Cumbrians and keep them all uniform. 3 nice clean leaks. Well, I'm saying clean. The barrels are nice and blanched. They're still covered in trip damage, but you know, it is what it is. I've decided to go with them 3 leaks instead of some of the bigger ones, just to keep them uniform. I'm not going to win anything with the bigger ones anyway, and I'll probably get wrong for not chucking the bigger ones in because you end up higher up in the show. But yeah, it is what it is. I'd rather put 3 which are nice and uniform and clean in than an odd one, big horrible ugly one stuck in the middle. I'd rather have 3 big ugly ones. But yeah, this is the aftermath. All the cleaning needs to be done. The place is an absolute bomb site. I'll be putting 3 veg in. I'm going to be pulling out some carrots shortly to be putting in a selection of 3 veg. I've got a giant onion there, what I tied last night. That's going to be one of them veg. The carrots are going to be the other veg. So I'm going to do a little video showing us pulling them carrots out the air pot, see how they got on in cocoa, no soil. And I'm going to put a giant marrow in as well. I've got a spare one there, which isn't really going to come to anything, but it's just a bit of fun for to put in the show so people can have a look at it and see how ridiculous some of the sizes, some of the veg can be. Yeah, so join us again in a second where I'm going to go and pull some carrots out, and I'm going to get them stump carrots. The variety is a sweet candle variety, so I'm going to pull some of them out of a pot now, and hopefully we've got 4 or 5 decent carrots to put in a little bundle with the big onion there and the big marrow and my selection of 3 veg for that little section. But yeah, it's been, like I say, it's been a disastrous year so far. I've only got one glimmer of hope, and that's a marrow. Really, I've got a big marrow. It's the biggest I've ever grown, and that'll be going in another section at Harrogate. I've never entered anything into Harrogate before, so that should be fun to see what happens there. And I've got a kohlrabi, the first time I've ever grown it, and that seems quite big. I don't know how big other people's are, but it seems quite big. And I'll be taking that down to Malvern Show. Hopefully I might get a place down there with that kohlrabi. My onions, basically with the heat they stop growing. They're all about 24 inches around, 25 inches around. They're nothing special. I doubt I'll even be over £10 this year with those. When last year I was £11.5, so I'm pretty disappointed at that, but I'll find out when I weigh them. But I'll be sticking them in Harrogate as well, just as a giant onion and 3 large onions. But yeah, it's been a disastrous year with the weather, you know. It's been too hot. I'm just going to show you, I've got some giant cucumbers growing in here. And I've got this one here, which is looking quite big. I'd say it's about 2 foot long, maybe it's just more. And it's quite a size. It weighs quite a lot. It's quite heavy. There's the other ones. I've got another 2 here, which they're not going to come to nothing. And I've got another one here, which the same. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna chop this one off and take it down to the show as a bit of fun and put it on the bench as a cucumber. Obviously it won't win anything because it's a massive ugly thing, but it's a bit of fun for people to see how big cucumbers can be sometimes. These plants are starting to get powder mildew on them now, so they've just about had it. But show season's upon me. Next 2 or 3 weeks all the shows will be done and out the way, and I'll be preparing for next year. But hopefully I'm gonna have more time next year. I'm gonna make more time next year for to hopefully do a lot better than this year. And I'm hoping that the weather stabilises a bit. But yeah, I'm gonna show you is pulling up some stump carrots in a second to see how they got on the air pots. I think they look alright by the tops, they look decent, but don't know what's underneath. So I'll be growing a load more next year in the air pots and cocoa if these are decent. So join us again in a second and I'll show you how they're getting on. Okay, I'm back in the tunnel here. This was the gravity fed dripper system. I've got the big water bowser at the top there. I'll show you a couple of things before I do the carrot pull. Here's some of my giant onions. I'd be happy if I get one over £10 because, like I say, they're just not at it this year because of the heat. The heat stops them growing. So I'll have 3 for the 3 large section and another one for the giant, but I'll not win anything with them. Definitely not. But yeah, this kohlrabi, it's hard to work out. It's kind of round like this. It's bigger than a football now. It's got lots of growths growing out of it, and it's quite freakish. It's leaning right over. But yeah, I've never grown these before, so it'll be fun to see what happens with these. There was some butterfly, cabbage white butterflies got in my tunnel, and they've laid some eggs on, and they've ravaged it. I've picked all the caterpillars off from what I can see. Every day I was coming in there was more and more and more, so I just kept squashing them and picking them off. But yeah, it's been chewed to bits. Okay, so let's have a look at these carrots. I'm just looking for a little bunch of carrots to put in the show. I'll start with this one. Oh, it's not a bad carrot. Very thin, but not bad. That'll go in my little selection. Let's all clear the top away. Oh, well, this one looks a bit fatter. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, very nice. Spot on. Nice taproot at the bottom. Stump end. Yeah, very nice. Oh, just snap the taproot off there. Let's have another look, see what else. There's another one there. There's just a little stumpy one which was grown in the middle. I tried to thin them out to make sure that they weren't all grown over each other. This one looks like a decent one. And again, not bad. Good stump end with the taproot on. I'll clean these up and I'll get them all so they're dressed nicely, so they look like decent carrots in my 3 veg. This one I don't think it'll be as big. Just a little stumpy one, that one. This one seems quite big around the top. Yeah, that's a spot on carrot. Very nice with taproot. And a little baby one come out with it. It's weird how that one hasn't really grown to the size this one has. But yeah, it's not bad so far. Some nice carrots there. I wonder what these ones are like at the back. Doesn't seem that big, this one. Just another stumpy one. Thin, but it'll go in the group. This one seems a bit bigger. Let's see. Yeah, another nice one. Another nice carrot. The stump end. So these carrots, like I said before, variety sweet candle. And the thing is, growing them in these air pots in the cocoa, the cocoa is a Mills DNA cocoa, and I'll just show you here. And it's got added cork, which helps with the moisture retention. And the thing is, when you're growing carrots, you don't want any resistance at all. You don't want any lumps or bumps, no stones, anything. It's got to be really fine, and this is really fine. And you don't get any splitting, forking, things like that in your stump carrots. So I'll definitely be growing quite a few more next year. I think I'll probably set aside 6 or 8 of these air pots. I've got a few more in the cocoa, and grow some stump carrots. And I might even, looking at them, they look really decent carrots, I might enter some into a show to see how I get on, because they're fantastic. Really, they look spot on. That's a really nice carrot, nice stump end, and with the taproot added on. So these will clean up really nicely. They should look really good on the show bench. So there's a nice little group of them there to go on my 3 veg. I think all the rest in there is just little piddly ones, but I'll keep digging. So yeah, thanks very much. Join us again shortly, and I'll show you how I did in the show, and what's going on in the show, and who won and what have you. I'll show you what's happening with that. So yeah, actually I'll show you, it's my marrow. I'll cut the marrow off soon, and I'll show you that first. It's part of my 3 veg. See you shortly. Sorted. Everything's done. Leeks are in the back. Got another way of transporting them. I've got a marrow here cut out. Malvin, the marrow junior. Haven't said that, he's probably about the same size as the marrow I took down to Malvin, but I've got his seatbelt on there to keep him nice and safe. I've got an onion there and a leek. What I've decided to do is, in my 3 veg section, I'm going to be putting the carrots. I've got a big onion and a leek, so that'll make a nice pot of stew, pot of soup. And that's what the judges are looking for. It's not just one piece of veg out of each section for the 3 veg. It's a combination of 3 vegetables, so you can put as many in as you like. It's basically what they're looking for, is to make a nice meal. That's what they're looking for. I was being mistaken the first year I did it, and I only put 3 bits of veg in, and other people won because the judge was looking for a collection of veg, not just 3 veg. But that's how it rolls sometimes. But yeah, I've got. I mean, the marrow is just for a bit of fun. He's quite big actually. I would say he weighs about 55-60 pounds. And yeah, it's just for a bit of fun, just for to bring some awareness to the show. People come in and have a look and can see how funny some of the veg grow. But I've got my leeks there, and I've got that intermediate leek, which is quite clean actually. It's a lot cleaner than I thought. There's next to no thrip damage on it, and that's the leek I put a lot of the predator mites on, so I will be getting a lot more of them. I got them off a guy called Alex from Mite Munchers. I think it's mitemunchers.co.uk, or it might be mitemunchers.com, and he'll send you out a predatory mite you just scatter on your leeks, and it stops the thrip. It attacks the thrip and kills them. I should have got it a lot earlier before the problem started, but I started a bit late. But yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. Just need to start the car up and I'm ready to go. Back to Geordie Giant Veg. It's show day. I'm just going to show you around some of the veg which was entered in my little local show. I did a little bit better than I thought, so I'll show you what's going on here. These were the winning 3 leeks. They were entered by a lad called Paul Henderson, who did very well. And he also got the best leek in show. So well done, Paul. Second was a guy called Basil. If you watch some of my videos, you'll know I used to share an allotment with a guy who used to let me grow some leeks there. That was his allotment, Basil, so he came second. Well done, Basil. Well done, mate. As you can see on nearly all the leek entrants this year, the thrip damage is just terrible. And it's because people are really scared for to spray their leeks this year for thrip damage because of the heat. Stephen Henderson was third. Well done, Stephen. Some nice leeks there. Yeah, people were really scared for to spray their leeks this year because of the heat, which will cause damage.
and cookie leeks if you're not lucky enough. I was just pipped to 4th place by a guy called Andy Robinson. Well done, Andy. And here's my stand of leeks. I had to swap. I only put one Yorkshire Giant leek in and the other 2 are Cumbrians. As you can see, this one's got like a chamfer to the barrel and the other 2 are quite straight. Yeah, they're nice leeks. There was a bit of soil damage, soil decay, and I was pointed down for that. But I'm happy I got 5th place with it. I beat a few others, a few other lads who like to whinge and have a go at us because I did terribly a couple of years ago. So, and as you can see, the thrip, terrible thrip this year. Jason Parker trigger, and here's some of the other. There was just one stand this year, oh sorry, 2 stands this year, not as scheduled. These, because they were bigger than 6 inches to the button, and obviously the button split on the leeks, and these were not as scheduled because there was secondary growth. As you can see, there was a whip coming out, and the judge picked it up. The person whose leek it was didn't see that and put the leek in still, but the judge picked that up. The intermediates again was won by the young lad Paul Henderson. Fantastic leek, Paul, well done. And Paul won 2nd as well. He entered 2 leeks into there. And I managed to get 3rd place for my intermediate. And there's a bit of fun. We've decided to use my marrow and guess the weight. I'm not entering that obviously because I've got a rough idea how much it weighs. They put the little WD-40 sign on there because if you watch some of my older videos years ago, I put some WD-40 on the rust on my leeks and killed them all. I was always advised stupidly as a bit of a joke, but I didn't take it that way, so I knocked a lot of leeks up. Beginner's mistakes, believe it or not. Some nice groups of 3 veg here. And I was lucky enough to get 1st place with my my group of 3 veg there as well. Some nice carrots actually. I won a nice trophy again. Yeah, some of these carrots, the stump carrots which you seen earlier on, have cleaned up really nice. I didn't do any quality onions this year, but there's some really nice onions. Stephen Henderson won that again. Well done, Stephen. Some really nice onions. Just a couple of cucumbers. And I was going to bring a bigger one, but didn't bother. Some buttonholes done by Angela, really nice, Angela, well done. The long root veg again was a parsnip all the way down. This guy, he wins every year because no one else really enters it. But I think I might try a couple next year. Some beautiful flowers, basket of flowers there. Another lovely flower by Angela, Stephen. Some nice trusses of tomatoes. Again. Yeah, so that's about it. It's been a decent show. I didn't expect to come 5th, never mind 1st with my other veg. You know, all of it was a bit up in the air, but I've got a lot of giant veg going down in some of the bigger shows. I've got a bigger marrow, 2 or 3 times the size of that one, going into Harrogate. So stay tuned, I'll do a couple of videos of the Harrogate show and prepping for to go down there. That's in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, cheers for watching, and I'll see you again on the next one.